crew we made. Ready now, turn the page. This is where we all engage. Engage. Let the journey begin.
Welcome to Engage
with Trekkie
and Trekker. This is the podcast that boldly explores the fans behind the Star Trek fandom. And today we have a special guest, and I feel like I have to introduce this guest with the words of Spock from the most famous and well-liked movie of them all. This is my brother. Welcome to the show, Adam.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
We always give an opportunity for our guests to start off by just introducing themselves with as much or as little as they care to share. So have at it. Tell us about yourself.
Okay. Well, my name is Adam, and I am your brother. Yeah, I've been watching Star Trek. I mean, as far as I can remember, it's probably one of my earliest memories of TV, even.
That's cool. How did you first get introduced to Star Trek?
Well, I'm sure it was just from Jason watching when I was younger. That's, I don't have any other way to think of it besides that. We didn't have a lot of TV that we watched, and that was one of the shows, and it was on a lot. And I remember he loved it, and I definitely started loving it at an early age too. So I'm sure it was his influence.
Sure.
I mean, you had to have been introduced to it when you were like 2 or 3, because I'm a few years older than you, and that would have been about the same time that I was introduced to it. And Adam, we grew up we even built little enterprises out of Legos that we had around and had all the toys. So we definitely had a lot of Star Trek stuff influence in the household.
We
for
did.
Sure.
Yep. We did. I remember all of that, like the shuttle and all the action figures, and then there was that light up Enterprise, which I don't know why it had detachable nacelles, because they came off and got lost. So I remember getting rid of that thing after, when we were younger, because I was like, it's useless now.
Yeah, we had the most beautiful Enterprise D, and you would hit the button and it would make the warp sound, and the little nacelles would light up. But for whatever reason, those nacelles would just pop right off. And then you'd put them back on, and then they'd pop right off again. It was like, why did they make these detachable?
Eject the warp core.
I honestly don't know why. Because, it would be a great collectible if that had not been that way. Because I would have still had it, but I'm sorry I threw it away. We were
I think the nacelles eventually, one of them got lost or something. It was like, oh great, now we have a nacelle.
Well, that's why I threw the thing, is because
the
the nacelles got lost, and I was like, we can't have
no, it looks so weird without nacelles.
It did. And if why make those detachable? They could have made the toy have the saucer separation. That would have been fun, cool, and part of functional within the show. But the nacelles came off. Okay.
I mean, Star Trek has a long history of weird toy lines. Have you seen that famous Spock hat?
Yeah, the hat with the
Oh yeah.
Makes no sense, but hey.
I mean, I've looked into it, but I don't have any of the action figures anymore. But I really wish that we had that Enterprise D set for the toys. That was the best one. But we never had that. But I've seen people selling it on eBay. It's quite a lot though now, and it's always incomplete set, or the stickers are peeling off, and it's wow. We had a lot of good toys. But
if you're gonna spend a lot of money,
that's just what
it better not have stickers falling off.
Right. If we would have listened as a Ferengi, we would have kept all the stuff in the box.
Right.
Well, where's the fun in that? I don't know. So you've known Star Trek pretty much all your life. With that in mind, who's your favorite character?
It's something I would go back and forth a lot on, but I would probably have to say Dr. Crusher.
Okay.
And
Dr. Crusher, and why?
Yeah, I have a lot of reasons. I would say her main main thing is, Star Trek is all about representation for all kinds of different people. And what I like about Dr. Crusher is that she is very good representation for women, especially in sci-fi. What I like about her is that she is, very conventionally attractive, and she likes feminine things like theater and dancing, but people always take her seriously as an authority figure and as a scientist. And a lot of times in sci-fi, when women are in authority, they're very like, and they lose their femininity, and that's how they get taken seriously. And you never see that with Dr. Crusher. She's always taken seriously without having to, stomp around and, I'm in charge,
Right.
That's what I love about
That's
her.
a
She's
good
very
point.
great representation because she's, and that's not to say that other characters aren't good, like, Ripley in Alien. She's a great character and she's great representation, but she's certainly not traditionally feminine. And I think that's a good message to impart to women, is that you don't have to be tough to be authoritative and taken seriously.
Okay.
I like that, Adam. I like that.
Nice. Did your view change with her over time? Like with Picard, did you get real excited in Picard when she came back finally for season 3? I'm curious.
I mean, I did like her coming back, and all of the things that they portrayed were things that I always saw in the character anyways. She was always competent. She could do starship operations or combat. We saw that in episodes like Chain of Command. She was part of that group with Picard and Worf when they were doing that. So she's always been very capable, and so I was happy to see that. It was interesting to, try and figure out how old she was when she had a child, but that's a different...
She's a doctor. She can figure that out.
They've cured menopause in the future.
Right.
Right? We do things. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That's funny. Adam, I never thought about it like that, but that in the back of my mind, I was like, because I think they were portrayed at Next Gen. I think they were portrayed in their late 40s, even 50s, maybe. So interesting. I never thought about that. This day has been just a wealth of what ifs for Star Trek.
Right.
Exactly.
Cool. So, Adam, Crusher, favorite character, at least at this time. And if we ever, if you'd like to come back, we may ask that question again, because like you said, it can change, based on the mood and all of that. So I appreciate that. Do you have a favorite episode or movie?
Absolutely. My favorite episode is from Next Generation, Season 5, Disaster. Which...
Oh, that's a good one. Yes.
Yeah, that is. And I thought about a lot of episodes, and the reason I landed on that one is because it's just so good. It really demonstrates how good that cast was at working with each other by pairing up all kinds of unusual, because we always see a lot of Geordi and Data or Beverly and Deanna, and this episode we get Beverly and Geordi, and we get Riker and Data, and Picard out of his element with a group of children, and Worf and leading sickbay and helping, deliver a child. So we get everyone kind of out of their element, and we get people paired up with people they're not usually paired up with, and they still all, I like it from the acting perspective. You see the cast working well together, but it's also just a well done episode.
Yeah, that is a good one.
That just, it puts people together in different, and I thought, I almost said
Sub Rosa.
I do like that episode too.
With the disaster one, have you ever held your breath the entire time that Geordi and Dr. Crusher had to hold their breaths?
No, I haven't.
Oh, when they're there, I never. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny, Trekker. I've never thought about that.
You haven't? Oh, okay. Yeah, I've tried to do it. It's really hard. Okay, so I'm sorry I talked over you on what was your second favorite besides Disaster, where they work together as a team? Good?
Yeah, I was not necessarily working as a team, but as a cast. The episode Conundrum, where their personalities are, or they don't remember who they are. I like that episode because it features lots of good acting, and then we also get good insight into who those characters are when they don't remember who they are.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I love Worf's moment when he kind of realized he wasn't the captain anymore. It was like, oh.
Well, and the fact that Picard
Yeah,
didn't hold it
whoops.
against him. I mean,
Nope.
that's true leadership. We all, we're all trying to. I can't remember exact phrase, but in essence, we're all trying to figure it out, Mr. Worf, or something like that. So,
Right? Yes.
those are really good episodes, Adam, and not. I mean, I'm on a whole bunch of like Facebook and different threads about favorite episodes and stuff. And Conundrum and Disaster don't come up often, but they are some of the ones that I most enjoy from Next Generation. So good choices.
Mm-hmm.
Good choices.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Yeah, I really wanted to think about that and think about episodes that really are great for a whole cast perspective. There's a lot of great episodes where they're focused on one character, and all of those are great. But what I really enjoy is seeing the whole cast be an ensemble and everyone get a chance to shine. And those episodes do that equally for everyone.
Sure.
Shoot, and it was the birth of the O'Brien's kid on that episode too.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Little Molly.
Before she became a feral, crazy adult.
Well, there's that.
That's a good episode.
Right?
That was a different one for
They
sure.
were just going to abandon her.
They were right, exactly. Holy moly.
This isn't working out.
Holy
We're just going to send
moly.
you back.
Aye. Okay, Adam. Star Trek has come up with a lot of cool future tech, some of which we've kind of already adopted in human society by the 21st century. But for those that we haven't yet formally come out with, what would you most like to see?
I would have to go with the Genesis device.
Ooh.
Because it could actually be used, maybe in smaller doses. We could use it to better our own planet. Like desert areas could be transformed into lush green spaces where we could, farm and have new communities. It would actually be good for humanity. So maybe not the whole Genesis device, but terraforming.
Okay.
All right.
Would you have any ethical qualms with just using a Genesis device on a planet like Mars? Or would you want to make sure there's no little, non-organic beings in the soil, like in home soil, the ones that call us ugly bags of mostly water?
I mean, at this point and where we are, it would have to be, focused on Earth. If we were ever actually able to do it on another planet, I don't think we would want to do that to Mars without confirming that there aren't worms living beneath the surface or something.
Right.
Would you hold off on terraforming for worms? I'm just asking.
Yes. I guess.
You would? Wow. I would not. I definitely would not.
Well,
I would be
I
like,
think
you know
that's
what?
part of. Oh.
It's worms. We need a new
That
planet.
seems to be the standard that they were going by.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's what
I'm
Dr.
teasing.
Marcus was doing.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have done it. So, yeah, although who knows? I just proposed doing it in, the desert. There's probably
The
some...
desert.
Well,
Right.
yeah. Well, there's not much worth saving in a desert. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, there's so much life in the desert. Yeah.
No, I did like that, Adam. I never actually thought about.
Genesis device.
in a couple of different things, but different series and stuff. We see it in Lower Decks, and then, of course, Next Generation, and then TOS. But that would be a very interesting concept. So.
It would be, and I like the idea of doing something that would be, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that's cool in Star Trek, but we think about it for maybe convenience, replicators, there's a lot of time-saving stuff that would be cool, and I guess it could also be for the betterment of humanity, but is it just for convenience? So that's why I would
Right.
say terraforming, because that's something we could really use for good if we were
Oh.
focused on that.
Okay,
Sure.
so I'm going to follow up with that real quick. Adam, we've terraformed a planet like 100 light years away or something. So it would be, and let's just say would you go out and be one of the terraformed, meaning like one of the colonists on a newly
Ooh.
terraformed planet? Are you
I
a
would.
frontier man? Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah. I mean,
Oh.
yeah. We don't live in an age where that's really a thing. If we were living in the 1800s,
Mhm.
I certainly would have done that.
Yeah.
Of course, to be
100%.
fair, anywhere you went in the 1800s already has people on it. Like, you might have been going into new territory for you and your culture community, but really the world already had people everywhere. If we're going to a different planet, you might be
Yes,
like
but at the time,
the
like,
first people,
were
period.
being given. But at the time, like in U.S. history, people were being given land and money for free to go
Right.
and set up. Like that.
Probably
Now
colonists
nobody's
would be
paying
like
you
that
to.
too. No.
Yeah, that's not happening now. Like, nobody here on Earth is paying us to go move somewhere else to colonize. The Earth has already been.
Right.
But no, yeah,
Colonized.
I like new exciting things, so I would definitely be on top of that if that happened.
Okay.
Very cool. Very cool.
I don't know that I would. I don't think I'd be a colonist. Trekkie, how about you?
I know we're talking about the Star Trek fandom. I often wonder, Firefly, Leaf on the Wind.
Okay.
And I know, Trekker, I don't believe that you've seen all of Firefly. Anyway, their frontier, they go out to the outermost reaches of the planets and stuff like that. I don't know. I think it would be. I think I'd give it a go. Honestly, I mean,
All
I
right.
know that we wouldn't necessarily have all the convenience that we have on inner planets, or even Earth in the Star Trek universe, where it's a utopia. It's maybe not a pleasure planet like Risa is, but there's nothing. This is the most peaceful planet type of situation. But heck yeah, I think I'd do it. Actually, the more we talk about this conversation, let's do it, Adam. We'll leave Trekker behind, and you and I will go and
Right.
frontier life and take over.
Earth will be in good hands with me.
Yeah.
Cool. Adam, is there a moment
make
in
sure they
Star
did a
Trek that
planet.
just blew your mind? Oh,
Yep.
what was that, Adam?
Oh yeah, I was saying just make sure they terraformed the planet and not the nebula.
Oh yeah. I'm
So
not
we don't
going to
have-
some hunk of rock. Don't get me wrong. If I was given the opportunity to go and colonize Mars right now, I have to admit I probably would give that a go. But yeah. So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
you're gonna stick to your creature comforts there, Trekker?
Definitely.
Fair
I'd
enough.
just be afraid you get to another planet and it'll be like, oh, guess what? There's this weird bacteria we didn't know, and it causes you to just nonstop phlegm out your nose for the rest of your life because you can't ever get back to Earth. You're just gonna have a snotty nose. Like, great.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, that's some people's
Adam, I
life
was asking-
here on Earth.
Right? Exactly.
True.
Exactly.
True. Mm-hmm.
Adam, is there a moment in Star Trek that just blew your mind? It made you think,
Yeah, I would say something from New Trek and Strange
okay.
New Worlds. There's the episode, it's called Under the Cloak of War. It's all about Dr. M'Benga and his past, and it's it's a lot of flashbacks, and it's him because they're all uncomfortable with this Klingon ambassador, and the whole episode, just the actual feeling like you're in a war zone, which I have no idea what that's like, but that episode really makes you feel like you know what it's like. And then we learn a lot about Dr. M'Benga, his past, and the Klingon ambassador. He's being dishonest, and so it comes to a head. We find out that M'Benga is the one who had killed all these people during the Klingon War, and then of course, at the end when the ambassador gets killed, and it's ambiguous. Did M'Benga do it? Was he acting in self-defense? Was he doing because he wanted to? The whole episode was mind-blowing to me. I think it's definitely the best thing we've seen out of any new Trek episode. I think it's
So
phenomenal.
for you, that's like the
And
best
it definitely
Strange New Worlds episode?
100%. I would say that was mind
Okay.
blowing, just because the shock of Dr. Mbanga seeming so unassuming and focused on his daughter, and then finding out, wow, he could do that. Like
Right.
he's got a lot of sides to who he is. He's still my favorite character in that show, probably because of those reasons. Yeah,
I
that
like that.
episode, just it was very mind blowing, just because it really it puts you in the feel of everything, and then it really just reveals a lot about the character, and it doesn't make you say, oh, he's a killer. You still kind of think, well, there's a lot going on to him.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah. I like that.
Okay.
That
So
was
you-
a good episode, and it made I have to agree with you that it made me go, I mean, because
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're all introduced to Dr. McCoy from the TOS, TOS, and then we got little snippets of Mbanga there, during a couple of episodes of TOS. I'm glad that they've provided more of a backstory for him through this,
Mhm.
and yeah, I mean, you think he's sweet and all of that stuff, because I think he's a phenomenal doctor personally. The way that he interacts with the crew, and I mean his
Mhm.
daughter. I mean, anybody that has a heart really feels for him and his
Mhm.
daughter the situation.
Mhm.
But yeah, he's definitely a multifaceted character, and I love the way that he's being portrayed. So I like that, Adam. I like that a lot. So
I'm glad that with that
Great, thank you.
series,
Mhm.
they didn't do too many episodes like that in a row, though, because they really seem to strike a heavy tone and then a light tone, a heavy tone, and it really kept the flow good for me, at least as a fan, because I feel like if it had gotten too heavy like that on every episode, it would be like, I'm trying to escapism, not realism when I watch TV. I don't want war. But that was a good character development for sure. And finding out all that baggage that character's carrying with them.
For sure.
Mhm.
And I believe, that episode was followed up by the musical, wasn't it?
Yeah.
One of your favorites
Was that
from
the very
Star
next
Trek.
episode? Was the musical?
I think it was. It was either the one before or after.
Okay. Well, I know. Okay. I don't recall. I remember that Those Old Scientists is like 2 before that one,
right.
and then there was
Oh, that's
something.
right.
I
It's
just
right in
remember
there,
the
too.
lighthearted, and then that. But yeah. Yeah. Okay. How about Star Trek shows that you'd like to see? If you had a magic wand and you can come up with any new Star Trek show, what would you pitch?
Yes. Mine would be Starfleet Medical, which is just kind of a mix of like ER and House MD, and it's set at like the hospital at Starfleet Medical. So you have all kinds
Nice.
of like alien medical mysteries and like emergency room, like, so it's it'd be like ER or whatever, but you have Vulcans or Ferengi, who have medical emergencies. And I think the sky's the limit to that, because you could kind of make up the science, doctor
can.
shows kind of can get criticized for like, oh, that's not realistic.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't have to
You
be
don't
on
know
this
what the
show.
Talaxian
I mean,
flu does.
Yeah.
I would totally
Yeah.
I would totally watch it. I'm currently watching The Pit on HBO, and I could totally get down with some Starfleet Medical. So
Would you
I mean,
bring
that-
your favorite?
I think that would be
Would you
really
bring your
fun.
favorite Crusher back?
Well, I mean, if we're setting it up in like that kind of continuity timeline, maybe. Otherwise, it could be set at a different. But I mean, maybe it'd be better to set it more in like the TOS. It'd probably be better set in like the TOS era than the maybe the
Oh.
TNG era would be good. I feel like
Oh.
TOS era would be better for like an emergency room type of Starfleet show.
Set
Okay.
up like TOS too, like the sick bay look of TOS, and now we're just in a hospital. So there's those like weird pump things you could kick on the wall when you're doing doing a
Yeah,
physical and
I
all
mean-
that.
I guess it would just be set in that timeline. It would probably look
Okay.
more like, the
Strange New Worlds.
Enterprise sick base from, yeah. That's probably what it would look
Yeah.
like, but it would be set during that era,
Okay.
just because, like, by the time we get to the era of TNG, the medicine, they won't have holographic doctors, and it's not as,
Just scan it and
it's a
know
lot
it.
more
But
automated, it
you're
seems
talking
like.
about the
Yeah.
development of them knowing about all the different illnesses.
Yeah.
You could almost take
Yeah,
for
'cause-
your show, you could almost say every single illness that was ever referenced on each show, and let's do the origin of how we learned about that illness. That would be
guess you could-
interesting.
you could have
I
the
could see it. I
discovery
could
of
dig it.
aromatic syndrome.
Yes, yes, yes. Or transporter psychosis.
Oh, yeah, when they first
Yeah.
start breaking that out. Because, gentlemen, correct me if I'm wrong, they started talking about transporters. Well, they did transporters in TOS,
Mhm.
but they just started it during Enterprise, during Archer's time frame. So kind of right in
Correct.
between there and then TOS,
Mhm.
and yeah, getting that transporter. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm loving this conversation, gentlemen. This is awesome. I totally would watch that, Adam.
Yeah,
would
that
be
would be a good one.
amazing.
Thank you. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think it would be fun. There's all kinds. The sky's the limit on that, because you could have medical, and it could be followed up to different things like you could use like the Trill and have something like, if you have a host and say that their symbiont dies and they get a new one, and it causes them to have all kinds of weird issues. Because usually, the symbiont goes to a new
Oh.
host, but what if a host got a new symbiont? There's all kinds of things you could explore in a Starfleet Medical show.
That would be weird, because you have a dual consciousness, but then half of your consciousness leaves, and then you're left with your own half again.
And whatever you may retain from
Yeah.
that original symbiote.
Okay, this is a very serious question for you both. Would you join with a Trill if it was offered? You would? No,
I would.
Trekkie would? No.
Well,
Adam, how about
yeah.
you? Ah! Why?
Yeah.
Why would y'all do it? Why?
Well, if you're a Trill and you've gone through, it's what you want.
I'm saying you as a human,
they
if it
make
was
it
just
seem
all of a sudden available, there's somebody down your street that says, guess what? I'm a Trill. My body's dying. I need to get this transferred. You would be willing to accept it. Trekkie's still.
Yeah.
I got to hear y'all's reasoning, because I'm a hard no on that one. I'm like, nope, I want my own consciousness, not a shared one. Sorry.
Well, for me, we do have obviously a finite time. Just the wealth of knowledge this Trill symbiont would have, and then be able to, impart to me. I often wonder, they talk about the personality changes and such, and Jadzia, was a prime example. But again, then we see Esri, who just happened to be, a junior counselor that got this thing put in her belly, and she struggled with it quite a bit too. So, but she, like you were saying, Adam, she wasn't prepped for it. This was never something that she necessarily aspired, was to be a joined Trill. But oh man, I would totally do it, just for the simple fact is to figure out how do I put this? The different timelines, what different experiences people have. Because Trekker, for me, that's one of the reasons I love doing this podcast, is that we all have a different background and such, and having the conversation. It's I kind of live vicariously through the people that we talk to, and put myself somewhat in that situation to actually be able to live that. It's kind of like a holodeck, but you are experiencing the emotions of it as well, like through the symbiont. So that's at least for me. I think it would be fascinating to experience additional lives. I would never want to be veering off. I'd never want to be a vampire, because I would hate to live forever, type of thing.
Okay.
But that brief existence and being able to actually experience that, I'd be all over that.
I thought you were going to say, I would hate to be a vampire because I wouldn't want to suck the lives of others, live forever. And that's fine. Yeah.
Salt vampire. Forget that. But
Adam, how about yourself? What are your thoughts on being joined with a Trill then? Why would you?
For me, it's probably just because it would be, you would learn a lot, and have all kinds of knowledge about things you did before. And for me, you know, my memory is kind of, you know, I'm envious of people who can really recall things and really relive them. I have a memory that's great for recalling details. You know, I know things that happened when they happened, that kind of thing. But I don't really have a great memory of like just events and that kind of thing, like what they've, you know, I can't visualize things when I go into my memory. So to me, the idea of a Trill, you know, maybe that would help just be able to remember things better, but it'll also just give a lot of knowledge that I don't have.
I like that. Yeah, I get that.
So hopefully they would accept me since I don't remember things well.
Yeah.
Right. And Trekker, why are you a hard no?
Oh, hard no, because to me, that's like joining up with the Borg. All of a sudden, you're sharing consciousness with others, maybe not millions or trillions or however many Borg there are, but just another consciousness superseding my own. I feel like I would no longer be me. Like
Okay.
all of a sudden, I'd be, I don't know.
Would you do a
something
Vulcan
new.
mind meld then? Because you are, in essence, like with Picard
Yes.
and Derek.
Because in those instances, they do share something that gets crossed, but when it finally kind of resolves, there's a piece that remains, but they're still making their own separate decisions. Like now, Spock's dad passed away. I don't know what kind of that does when somebody passes after you mind meld. We learned on Discovery that these mind melds can even cross space and time, like with Burnham and oh my goodness, I'm blanking on Spock's dad's name.
Sarek?
Yes, exactly. Thank you. So, you know, all of a sudden it's across space and time, but still there's this separation when it's done. There's not this forever joining like a Tuvix situation, you know, where it's because in a sense that's what it is. It's Tuvok and Neelix becoming Tuvix when you Trill.
Okay. All right. Follow-up
Only-
questions to come on that.
You know, the interesting thing is for the Trill itself, they take on all these personalities one after the other, whereas with the host, it's kind of one and done. But yeah,
Adam, how has Star Trek shaped your life and or worldview?
I would say it's made me a person who really expects and respects to have structure and environments. You know, I walk into places and look and, you know, to me, like the boss is like the captain. And so, you know, a lot of places don't always work out that way. Some places can be really unfocused, but to me, just trying to look at every place as having structure and, you know, expectations, you know, Star Trek really is something that I feel like I learned a lot of that from. They, you know, they always have a lot of respect for authority, and I feel like that's something I learned. And, you know, unfortunately, that doesn't always translate into real life. You can walk into a lot of situations and it's just a lot of chaos. But so sometimes you have to temper your expectations. But I feel like that's the one thing that really, you know, I look at everything and I think, you know, there's levels and layers and there's expectations. And I think that's something I took away from it.
Yeah. I've been told that's very militaristic, like that style of having, you know, like a captain and aye, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And not questioning it and just going with it. I would have a hard time doing that in like the work world. Like I can follow instructions, this and that, but if somebody said you're gonna do XYZ and it doesn't make sense to me, like I would say, well, have we thought about doing something that makes more sense? Like I think I would talk back too much to fall into that like structure sometimes.
Yeah.
But to you, do you feel Starfleet is military because of that structure? I'm just curious your thought on that.
I don't know. I mean, it is set up according to like military in a lot of ways, and then they change their focus to exploration at some point, but it's still militaristic. I mean, it's something though just kind of that I had ingrained, you know, as far as authority and stuff. You know, I remember one time being a child and talking back to Dad and him being upset and like, you know, your favorite characters on TV don't talk like that. Do you think Worf would get away with it if he talked back to Captain Picard? And I was like, no.
Did he really?
Yeah, I actually remember that. He did one
Wow.
time say
I'm
that.
impressed.
Because I was being a smart mouth. And he was,
I am impressed that he knew the reference.
yeah.
Because usually with Dad, it was more like, how come all the Star Trek aliens all look like humans with different foreheads?
I know.
So it's like, there is an universe explanation
Yeah.
for it.
Right.
No, he knew who Worf was, and he definitely used that as an example for not talking back.
That is hilarious.
That
I
is
did not
awesome.
know that, but I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, now it's time for pew 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 pew. Rapid phaser fire. Would you rather deal with a rogue exobot or a badgie?
Exobot?
Yeah, like peanut hamper.
Yep.
Excellent. Would you rather have for your security, so it's your own ship, would you rather have for security La'an or Yar?
La'an.
Odo or Worf?
Worf.
Tuvok or Reed?
Tuvok.
Tuvok, yeah. How about for pilot? Would you rather Ortega or Sulu?
Ortegas.
Paris or Detmer?
Paris.
LaForge, because he was on season 1, or Wesley?
LaForge.
Would you rather report to, so now you're on somebody else's ship, would you rather report to Janeway or Picard?
Janeway.
Cisco or Archer?
Cisco.
Pike or Kirk?
Kirk.
Kirk, okay.
Ooh, okay.
And okay, so now you're a captain. Who would you prefer to have as your first officer? Una or Spock?
Spock.
Riker or Chakotay?
Riker.
And Saru or Burnham?
Saru.
Saru?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Burnham did kind of
Yeah.
go against your captain's wishes and start in your
Yeah,
galactic
no,
war,
yeah.
so. And, okay, would you rather be trapped in a holodeck with Worf or Loxana?
Worf.
And do you consider yourself a Trekkie or a Trekker?
Trekkie.
Thank you very much, Adam. It was a pleasure meeting you today. You are part of the Trekkie family now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I can't with you. I thought maybe this one's in the bag, but no, Trekkie.
Yeah, Trekker is not the commonly used one. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm uncommon in everything I do.
That you are, Trekker. That you are.
And I'm okay with that. I'm IDIC, bitches.
That's funny.
Okay. Well, any other thoughts on Star Trek that you'd like to share with us today before we wrap up this conversation?
Mostly, I would encourage people to definitely watch Strange New Worlds, particularly the second season. I'm looking forward to the upcoming season.
Okay.
You know, I'm really sad that we aren't getting any more Lower Decks. Hopefully that'll change, though. We didn't really talk about Lower Decks much today. I really love that show for all kinds of reasons. It's just such a fun show that's just really lighthearted, but it also makes you appreciate Trek even more by watching it.
Would you like them to come out with more of like the same cast of Lower Decks, or would you like the same style, the same writers, but like maybe a Deep Space Nine version or
No,
other
I want to
kinds
see
of
this
animation?
particular.
Out of
I want to see
curiosity.
that show continue on. I want more from Mariner and
In what
Voyager.
they led up to in the last like finale.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the finale was kind of final, but yeah, I mean, I'd still like to see more from.
Well, no, because now they,
True.
they can go into the multiverse from where they're going. So
Well, and we got Ransom as captain and Boimler and Mariner as co-first officers. I mean, That
Can we talk
right
about
there is
co-captains and co-first officers? As long as we've talked about the militaristic setup
right.
of things, does that actually work?
No.
If they continue it, we will see.
Because to be honest, I know in corporate world we do that a lot, especially in employee groups, like employee resource groups. It's very trendy right now to not have a chair, but to have co-chairs, and not to have vice chairs, but co-vice chairs. I'm just curious how that reacts. Like when you're in an emergency situation, oh, the Borg are coming, and now you've got two captains with two different solutions to a problem. Are you going to flip a coin? Are you going to roll dice? How are you going to do that? I'm curious about these co-captains and all this. I'm just curious. Anybody, any thoughts on that?
I mean, it might be conflict. That might be harder to me. I would rather be a co-captain than say you're the captain, but the admiral is visiting and they're telling you what to do. Like, oh, great. Like that's always the one. It's like, oh, this is my ship, but the admiral's here. Like that, it's like, oh, the boss is here kind of thing. Even though you're the boss, that's always a fun concept. Like, oh yeah, Captain Picard has a boss too, and she's kind of annoying.
Yep.
The one, what's her name? Nichiev.
Nichiev?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, I like that, and I would love to see more Lower Decks myself. I would. I'd be okay with them doing more of that style for different of the time eras of Star Trek too, because I think they would have so much to play with that. Like if they made a TOS era cartoon show that was not the animated series, but a fun second mission second contact type ship or whatnot. Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's disappointing we're getting so few episodes on all of these things, and they're in 5 seasons and 10 episodes of all these things, because I think Strange New Worlds is not gonna last that long either. So it's kind of disappointing that we're getting so few of these, because they are really...
And they don't even have that many episodes.
Yeah, let's do that. Give us a few more episodes if we're only getting 5 seasons, because it's really good Trek, and so I don't like that it's going away so quickly. I hope that we're gonna get something good to come in after that. I haven't been following. I don't know what's in the pipeline 100%. Or what's coming out for Trek soon or after Strange New Worlds, but
it's hard to know what to believe. Yeah. Because there's all sorts of rumors about an Archer show. I saw this past week a Janeway show, possibly, which would be exciting. I'd be more excited about that than the Archer one, but will it happen? Is it just talk? And we're all still waiting for Star Trek Legacy, co-captains or not.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's... I mean, I appreciate that they don't do too much. I don't want them to get into areas like, say, Star Wars, where it's just so, we have... Star Wars just had a movie, and nobody cares. Literally nobody went to see it.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about that one because it was a TV show first. So why would you finish a TV show by going to the movie theater?
But I mean, on that note, though, because, there's a lot of things Star Trek could do. They could do a Rachel Garrett show, and I would watch it, but we all know how it's going to end. So that's kind of the thing, when Star Wars made Rogue One.
What do you mean a Rachel Garrett show?
The captain of the Enterprise D.
Oh.
But Star Wars, they had Rogue One, the side story. To me, it was so pointless and boring, and I'm glad that Star Trek isn't oversaturating with that. I'm sad that we aren't getting more, but I'm also glad that we're not getting too much.
Okay, fair enough. Don't beat the dead horse into the ground, but let's keep having horses around.
Give us a little more, but not too much.
Kind of going back to the Lower Deck style, and I was actually going to run and grab it, but Mike McMahon, and I maybe butchered Mike McMahon, whoever created and is the writer for Lower Decks, he actually started on his Twitter account, and they created a book about it, which is The Next Generation Season 8. Give me just a sec.
Ooh.
You guys talk amongst
Season
yourselves.
8?
Oh, yeah.
Huh. The next generation. Oh, now I would be excited for a new Next Generation season if they wanted to go back and tell fill-in story. Be kind of hard to do though with the movies in place. You'd have to.
So he created a book called Warped, and it is. I've been reading it. That's why it was in my room. It's pretty much a season 8 of Next Generation. Think of it as Lower Decks Next Generation.
Huh, okay.
Neat.
It
Okay.
is a lot of fun. I mean, even some of the like the I don't know if you can see it, even some of the artwork is very similar to what they did in Lower Decks. So just throwing out for you guys, and if you want a little continuation of Next Gen and Lower Decks, I found this fun little book, Warped.
Okay.
And believe it or not, Trekkie is not getting paid for this advertisement.
Yeah, I'm not. It's just I'm a Trekkie, so but it's a lot of fun. It's real quick little episodes, but yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it carries on Next Gen and Lower Decks.
Awesome.
So
I'm not much of a reader, but I'm going to add that to my list. I like it. Mm-hmm.
For sure. Well, Adam, it was really a pleasure meeting you today, and I hope that we get the opportunity to, just chat in the future, especially Star Trek. So, again, thank you very much for joining.
Absolutely.
And if you all enjoyed the show, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Live long and prosper, everyone.
Peace and long life.
Engage.